guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. A great big shout out to my channel members for supporting my channel. Thank you. All right, this is the next installment of Hobonichi Weeks Wednesday. Again, we're going to do some setup, although in this setup, I was absolutely inspired by my friend LuAnn over at Instagram, where last week it was a bit of a busy week for her. So instead of her sticker kits, she just used pen only, and it still looked really good. Now, LuAnn is a planner, so she actually plans out her week and puts down her tasks and whatnot. I'm more of an archiver, so I do my completed tasks, but I love the idea of it. And I thought, okay, that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. Now, I did get some questions by both Rhea, and I hope I said that right, and Karry Kae regarding sandwiches. So as I'm putting some color to paper, that's actually what I'm going to be talking about. So this is my Moterm cover in taupe. This is my one-piece Hobonichi Weeks in the English version that I'm using as kind of a catch-all everyday carry. And I do prefer to work when I'm setting this up with you guys outside of this. And I think it's mostly because of this flappy thing here. So let me take this out. And as I do up in these videos, I will show you we'll do the setup together, and then I'll show you my completed week, and then I'll end the video with what I ate for the previous work week. And that's kind of the theme of what we're talking about today, because both Rhea and Karry Kae had asked me, well, what kind of sandwiches do you actually eat? Because more often than not for breakfast, I eat a sandwich because it's just easy to transport, even if I'm catching the bus in. Before I get started on that, I chose 3 water-based Tombow markers for no reason, that they were just right in front of me, and I thought, oh, let's do all greens. I did not swatch these, so I don't know how these are actually going to look on paper, but whatever. 133, 243, and 173. Now, as I talk, I'm going to be doing some stuff on the page. I kind of have an idea of what I want to do. I don't know what the execution will be, but that's okay. We're going to be talking story. So when it comes to sandwiches, especially if I'm having them for breakfast, then it's more often than not going to be savory. And that can mean anything from bologna to salami, turkey, ham, liverwurst, spam, or egg. I've learned over the years that if I start off the day eating something sweet, that includes like oatmeal or cereal, then for whatever reason, I want to eat sweets for the rest of the day. And well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, it's like this vicious cycle of sweets and savory. So I'm just putting some coloring down. Now, for me personally, I consider a peanut butter and jelly sandwich as a sweet sandwich. I don't eat a lot of them because I have certain criteria with my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So first of all, it has to be white bread, and it has to be fresh white bread. My family, or my brothers specifically, can eat a peanut butter sandwich on toasted bread. To me, that's blasphemy because I don't want melted peanut butter. And you guys can come for me in the comments if you want, if you think I'm wrong. But, you know, we're to each his own. But it has to be white bread, and there's an obnoxious amount of peanut butter, generally crunchy, because I like the texture, and there's an obnoxious amount of jelly. I'm someone who loves condiments and sauces, and so more is better. I like my meat dry. I like my sauces plentiful. And for some of you, you're like, I don't even understand what planet you're from, Johanna. But some of you are like, yeah, absolutely, right? I hate juicy meat. I know that's hilarious to some of you because it's certainly hilarious to me. But I'd rather have a dry steak. In fact, if there's any even hint of pink, if it is not just gray and dead and dead and dead, I'm not going to eat it. I'm sorry. I don't care how much your steak was. If there's any juiciness to it, I don't want it in my mouth. But then I will put an obnoxious amount of steak sauce. And it's one, because I love condiments. The amount of ketchup and mayonnaise that I can consume is a bit much. I don't think so, but you know, judgy people think so. But it is a point of discussion at work because most of my coworkers are not as enamored of sauces as I am. But when I go on with the sauces, I go hard. And when I go with the condiments, I go hard. So like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich should not generally have any heft to it. Mine do, because this is America. And why not? Okay, so this actually doesn't look bad, but these mean something to me. All right, so I want to square off these edges after I put the pen down. This is my Pentel Energel in 0.3, and this is breakfast and lunch in the cafeteria. Now, the way they put it out on the internet is they go by month. So online, there's already what's available for Monday and Tuesday because that's already been posted for January. But when I checked last week, they had not posted the February lunch schedule. So I might have to do some here and then come back and look again at the schedule in the latter part of the week. This is notes for next week. This is overtime because I'll probably work a few hours either Saturday or Sunday. And this is word. So that's the word of the week. And I have been enjoying putting that information down. If I remember when I'm editing, I'll go ahead and put the link to what I get on a daily basis. Actually, it's from Merriam-Webster. It's free. It goes to my email. And so when I get in tomorrow morning, because it is currently January the 29th, then I'll look to see what words came over the weekend. And then more than likely, I'll choose one of those. Okay, so that page is done. Again, we're not using any stickers or anything like that. And then this side, we're going to do two things. This is a Pentel. Yeah, Pentel brush pen. So let's see. No, that's a little too light for me. But I want to stay in the greens. Okay. So let's come down and do some things. And we're just going to go freehand. Oh. I don't know if I like that. So let's just keep doing stuff until we hate it less. How about that? Let's do that kind of mentality. Maybe we'll hit a point where we only hate it a little versus a lot like we are right now. Okay, and if we do some like lines like that, then it makes it look intentionally janky, right? Now we're an artist and not just sloppy. Okay, and then we'll just do some of these things right there. Make it look like we always had this as a design element. Not gonna lie, that is looking kind of good. So either it is working out to my favor, or I just have the ability to lower my standards. God, honestly, it could be a combination of both of those things. Okay, so just a little bit here and there. Cool. There's definitely ghosting, but with this Tomoe River paper, you'll have that. But I don't see an actual bleed through. So that's good, even though there's quite a bit of color on the page. And then we'll use black, and this is just going to be a black and green page. This will be our quote here. And whether I spill the quote down here, I might actually do that because I can use my Pigma Micron. I have some of those at work, and just kind of write over that. And then up here, we'll have thoughts. And that's just if something comes up during the week that I want to keep track of. And then here, I haven't used it in a while, but this was a stencil that my friend Christy over at Christy Marie Designs had sent to me a couple of years now. And so we're just going to take up this little space, draw some circles. This is my little bit of a mood tracker. And at the end of the work week, I'll go ahead and just color in with black, whether it was a good, bad, or just mediocre work week. And just like that, we are done. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know that I like the execution of this, but I don't know that I don't, right? I mean, it definitely looks sketchy. It definitely looks artistic. There's certainly color on the page, even though we only used those 3 tombos. And I think they actually work really well together. Now I'm just making some fussy marks. But this is going to be our week. Now, hopefully for the next Hobonichi Weeks video, I'll have updated my monthly trackers in the back, and then I can also show you January. I don't feel like doing that right now. But yeah, that's to me, that looks nice. Although this kind of disappears. So let's go over it and just do some layering. Okay. For last week, we had that teal and purple spread. I was tempted to write something in these, but ultimately I just decided to leave it. Oh, I did work some hours yesterday. So that was 1:28:23. I worked from 9 to 12. And I worked on some R2T4s. And that actually means something to me. The R2T4 project has been a month-long project with the due date on the 29th. So I actually had up until here, but I did the majority of the work on the up through the 27th, and then I just finished out the project yesterday. The system is down today, so I couldn't work even if I wanted to. But I'm only working a few hours every weekend, and so this kind of ties in with the hours that I worked last weekend. The word of the day, I didn't write down when it came, but it was exacerbate, and that means to make more violent, bitter, or severe. And that's bitter with an I. And then my quote of the week was, "My life feels like a test I didn't study for." And that's it for my setup as well as my flip through. Again, there's no similarity between the pages, but so long as the 2 pages looking at each other kind of go together, that's actually all I need. All right, guys, if you're interested, stay tuned for what I've eaten for this work week right here. And as always, ALOT. Hey guys, lunch for today, Monday, January 23rd, is, leftovers from Friday. So that's chili spaghetti with corn. Breakfast, I had a tuna bun from a local Chinese restaurant, or bakery, I should say, with some water. Coffee midday. It smells okay, so I'll taste it, and if it tastes off, then I've got like a ramen bowl as a backup. But that's lunch for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, lunch for today, Tuesday, January 24th, is just cobbling some things together. I didn't bring lunch, so I've got some of these udon bowls. So it's udon and like a dashi broth, and this right here is tofu. I can actually show you what it looks like. It's got to sit for 5 minutes, but that's what it looks like. This is soft and squishy and sweet, and it's actually really good. Got a case of it from Costco, a lot cheaper than if I just bought it individually. This is a char siu bao, char siu manapua. It's baked, and then I've got this with water. Breakfast, I had a sandwich and some water, and then coffee midday. That's lunch for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, lunch for today, Wednesday, January 25th, is a combination of things. So some pickled beets. That's just in the fridge. Last night we had hamburger steak, homemade hamburger steak. So I've got a patty there, but the rice and the curry are actually microwavable pouches that I had in the office, and it was just easy to transport since it was a bus in day. and then some fried onions from dinner. So this is gonna be lunch. I'm probably gonna fall asleep, but whatever. It smells and tastes good. Breakfast, I had a sandwich and some water, and then coffee midday, and I'm having this with water. All right, guys, that's it for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, lunch for today, Thursday, January 26th, is a sandwich. I laugh because Rhea and Karry Kae had some questions. I'll actually talk about that when I'm doing my next setup video. But this is actually a hamburger sandwich. So it's hamburger, we made homemade, cut up with some mayonnaise, mustard, and salt on white bread. I've got some Campbell's tomato soup. I have added in some garlic powder, some Parmesan cheese, you know, the fancy kind from the green bottle, and then some French fried onions just for texture. I do have a yogurt in the fridge for later. Breakfast, I actually had a hot dog roll. So it's just a sweet bread with hot dog in it. I got from a local Chinese bakery because it's been in the fridge for a couple of days and I thought I'd better eat it. Anyway, that's it for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hi guys, lunch for today, January 27th, Friday, happy Aloha Friday, is some gravy and some rice with some French fried onions. It was leftovers of leftovers. I think we had this for like a couple nights, so I just took whatever was left, but I probably won't eat all of this. Just because I'm a little over it. I had the French fried onions, 1 for texture, but 2 also to make it taste a little different. And breakfast was a turkey sandwich, and I had water with that, and then mid-morning I had coffee. That's it for today. Hope you have or had a great weekend. Bye.